Record. And here we go. Nishka, I'll pass it over to you.
All right. So hi, everyone. Welcome to the Campus Brain Ambassador Network information session. It's currently September 12th, 2021 at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So we are happy to have everyone here, and let's get started. So just a little bit of an overview. The mission statement for the Campus Brain Ambassador Network is to bridge the gap between local and global neuroscience and psychology outreach efforts by connecting SN programming with their local schools and universities. So in doing so, we can strengthen the breadth of resources offered to local communities. So basically, we are taking SN's resources that have been worked on for a long time, and we're kind of connecting that at a school and institution level. So some potential CBAN activities that all brain ambassadors can partake in include hosting events featuring faculty members and community advocates at your school with the support of SN events team logistics and amplification experience. So the SN events team is super experienced. They have held tons and tons of events, and they are very, very knowledgeable at what they do. So kind of with the help of all of those people, you will be able to host events at your own community and kind of spread resources with the people around you. Some other activities include crafting actionable infographics and cross-amplifying with your school/university and SN social media platforms. So obviously right now, a lot of people, they pay attention to social media. There are a lot of great ways to get information across. So that's another activity that you could partake in. Another one is connecting undergraduate psychology and neuroscience departments with SN's Action Potential Advising Program, which is a mentorship platform that connects students with people that are a little bit more experts in the field. So that's another really great initiative that you could kind of get involved with. And then attending monthly peer-to-peer networking and mentorship meetings with fellow ambassadors and the SN leadership team. And there's plenty more. The program is free to evolve as it keeps growing. So this is just the beginning. So how do I become an ambassador? We have the application form linked on the presentation, and we'll send that in the chat as well. So applications are reviewed on a rolling basis. So you can feel free to apply whenever it's suitable for you. If now you're kind of like in between schools, or if you're in a transitional period, you're obviously welcome to apply whenever. But if you feel like you maybe want to apply in a couple months or like whenever, feel free to do so at that time. After you apply using the application that is linked over there, you'll be invited to participate in a group interview and get to know your fellow potential ambassadors. So that's kind of the first step into the program. So the structure of the program itself, CBAN is led by myself, Nishka Kamasia, and Davina Premraj. She unfortunately was unable to make it today, but you'll definitely see her around if you join. And it's supported by SN volunteers and the broader team. CBAN operates as one of the several outreach programs at SN and will consist of team meetings with other ambassadors from all over the world, meetings with local ambassadors in your area if you're interested, and access to exclusive resource packs that have been curated by SN, and instructions on how to bring neuroscience to your campus or local community. Each ambassador is expected to commit around 2 to 3 hours per week and should check in with either myself or Davina in regards to their progress on utilizing the campus resources and implementing them in their community. So yeah, we'll just kind of want to keep in touch with you guys and keep checking in about everything that's going on. Just super like informal, but you know, we want to make sure that like guys are kind of getting involved, right? So we'll be hosting monthly/bi-monthly meetings and socials to get to know one another better. And that can include tons of things. I mean, it doesn't just have to be like hey, what events are you hosting, but we can definitely get to know each other like personally as well. And then communication will take place through Slack. So Slack is a really great workspace that we use for SN as well, but we'll be making a separate workspace for the brand ambassadors that will make it really a lot easier to communicate with one another. Just two frequently asked questions that we've gotten. So if you are a recent graduate of a college/university/postgraduate school, you are definitely still eligible to apply. We understand that alumni may have ties to their local community and alma mater, and they can extend their neuroscience knowledge to newer classes. So if you still have great ties with some professors or with some clubs or organizations that you would be able to share resources with, then definitely feel free to kind of get involved with the program in that way. And then how old is the typical CVN applicant? So most of our applicants should be between the ages of 13 and 25. However, we know that not everyone follows the same educational path. And if your age is not within this range, feel free to send us an email at brandambassadors@simplyneuroscience.org, and we can definitely discuss the matter further. So that's just kind of a quick little overview. We'll send the link to the framework in the chat, and then we are going to take some other questions if you have any right now. And then if you want to just email us at brandambassadors@simplyneuroscience.org. That is definitely another great way to get your questions answered. Both Davina and I will be keeping up with those questions and getting back to you as soon as possible. So if you all have any questions right now.
Maybe while we gather questions, Nishka, do you want to talk a little bit about what the next steps after the application are, what people can expect?
Yeah, so after you complete the application, we will reach out to you with a group interview date, or not just a date, but we'll like kind of get your availability and we'll figure out a time. And in the interview, it'll be super informal. You'll be getting to know the other people that have been applying to the program, and it'll just be a conversational way to get to know each other, where we're from, and the different ways that we could kind of get involved in the community and spread SM resources. So after the interview, we would invite you to the Slack community, and you would kind of get that whole platform set up, and there'll be like instructions for that as well. So you don't have to worry about that. It's a super easy process. And yeah, you can start getting involved in the program through Slack. You can meet your other fellow brand ambassadors, and kind of will obviously, as the program is getting started, we'll start like dishing out like, hey, these are some event ideas that you could kind of potentially pursue. And yeah, anything to add, Chinmay? No? All right. So yeah, I think Chinmay just dropped the links to the application and the framework in the chat if you guys want to check those out. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them now.
And we do truly understand and acknowledge that our ambassadors are coming from different educational systems, different countries. There are unique challenges, whether it be on language or sociocultural aspects, in bridging this divide between virtual resources and the platform and on a more grassroots scale in your community. And so we truly hope to have this network be not just a one-size-fits-all one-way communication model, but we do truly want to seek insight from you all on how we can improve our greater resource availability. And hopefully once we start seeing, kind of pods of people pop up in different countries or different schools, even, let's say, that you can tap into that collective power a bit and use that teamwork towards driving impact that's more relevant to the community that you come from, that is more individualized and more tangible than, let's say, folks who are not coming from the same environment could perceive. So we do want this to be, it's not just like one size fits all, like mentioned. It is flexible, it is individualized, and it's up to you to make what you want out of the program experience. We're here to support you. And you're not just sort of a representative of Simply Neuroscience, the organization, but you are a brain enthusiast and an advocate at your community level. So we just want to bolster that journey and personal growth for you as well. It's a two-way street, absolutely a two-way street. And Nishka just dropped her email address in the chat for folks who are listening to the recording afterwards. It is brain ambassadors plural with an S at the end, at simplyneuroscience.org. And Davina and Nishka will be taking inquiries from that email, answering questions, sending out updates from there about group interviews and whatnot. So definitely mark that on your safe senders list in your email inbox as well. And as always, we always have updates on social media. So, you can tag along, follow on what's going on with the newest Brain Ambassador updates on there as well. Maybe some spotlights will be upcoming. Okay, we can hang out a few more minutes for questions. Mishka, was there anything you didn't cover in the presentation that would be neat to cover?
I'm trying to think now.
Well, maybe like in-person, virtual, hybrid, because that's a big question in everyone's minds.
Yeah, so definitely as the COVID-19 pandemic is still kind of going on, we want to make sure that we're keeping safe in our events and in our initiatives. So for now, everything through the campus and Brain Ambassador Network will still be virtual. All the events are going to be online. As the situation kind of changes, we can maybe think about some more hybrid or in-person events afterwards. But yeah, for now, definitely virtual events. And yeah, that's definitely something that would be flexible as time goes on. Then we can kind of see like, hey, maybe I want to host an event at my library or at my school or at like a local organization, anything like that. Obviously a great idea, something that we would love to have going on. So as time permits, as the safety procedures kind of evolve, then yeah, we'll definitely get started with some more in-person and hybrid events.
Awesome. Well, if we don't have any more questions, you can always feel free to email even after the session's over, and we can call it a day perhaps. All right.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you guys for joining, and thanks to anyone else who will be watching this at a later date. Yeah, again, if any questions pop up afterwards, feel free to email brainambassadors@simplyneuroscience.org. Yeah, that's all I have.